Everybody, this is Mike Klingler, and for those of you who are BitConnect leaders, or at least have been working with BitConnect, I'm going to show you really a serious way of how you can 10x your returns, maybe even really a lot more than that. What you're looking at here is my affiliate earnings and volume generated with Davercoin, which most of you have probably heard about. I'm going to be sharing with you why I really encourage you, if you're a BitConnect leader, to take a serious look, and you can do it stealth if you want to. I can help you set it up on stealth, meaning, you don't need to put your name out there if you're concerned about, your network, maybe feeling like maybe by you joining Davercoin, you've somehow, are abandoning ship or something on BitConnect. I can set you up on autopilot, totally stealth, and you can start to dabble with it and start to get these kinds of incredible returns. Commissions can pay a lot more than when you're lending and risking your own money. Now, whenever I do something, I do it first. So I did lend a lot of money to Davercoin. You certainly wouldn't need to. I did. I'll show you a little bit of that. I did a $161,000 lend my first time a week ago. But I want to understand, you just kind of compare and see what kind of returns am I getting on, getting return on capital back that's a greater percentage per day than what BitConnect pays. I'm still making a lot more from commissions than I do from my $161,000 lend. So those of you who are in BitConnect, you might be getting some commissions, but look what I've gotten in 7 days from my start date. The total money my referrals have lent is $1,455,000, goes up every minute. That's in 7 days, $1,455,000, 7 days from my start date. And I'm not some whale who's been doing BitConnect for months and months and months. I got started with my first lending program literally on September 3rd was my first day, and I was very skeptical at that moment. So, I mean, my green behind the ears first day at all in this whole market was 4 months ago. What I do know how to do is marketing. What I do know how to do is set up systems. And I love to educate people through my videos, and I do it in a very candid, level-headed way. And because it's so different, I'm not some YouTube personality, and there's nothing wrong with that, but that's the model that I see most people using. It's not duplicatable. There's no system behind it. The way I set it up is very different. So what I'm encouraging you to sit with me here for a few more minutes is for the purpose of finding out how you can go stealth if you want to, so nobody even knows that you're doing this, because maybe you've got a reputation with BitConnect and you don't want everyone to think you're abandoning ship or something, or that you're losing confidence in BitConnect. I can set you up on a system where you're completely stealth. It's really fast and easy, and you can start to duplicate building a really huge team really, really quickly, leveraging some marketing skills that I have developed over 20 years as a marketing trainer and as an educator through video. And it's very simple. When there's something powerful going on and I get excited about it, I like to educate people about it. I set up a simple system and expand the awareness of what's going on. And that's what this system is. What's happening with lending programs, while some may view very, very risky, if you know how to navigate that and you're not afraid or not risking more than you're willing to lose, you can do extraordinarily well, as you already know. The way I set up the videos is I'm very transparent about the whole thing. And it works, as you can see. So 7 days from my start date, my total commissions earned so far has been $57,000. I've withdrawn tens of thousands of that. We can go verify exactly how much. And then I've also, relended a lot of that to get more returns working for me. And so when I talk about 10x, and you can see my total affiliates per level, because it pays 5 levels. It pays 8% on the first level. My first level at the time that I took this snapshot was 429 people. It grows every couple minutes. And then my second level, 858 people. My third level, 817 people. 490 people on my fourth level, 351 on my fifth level. And then you can see the commissions that it's paid, or I'm sorry, this is the total amount that they've lent. And I'm getting 8% of the first level. I believe it's 4% on the second level. 2% on the third level, and then 1% and 1% in the last 2 levels. But you can see that really, really adds up. So I'm not saying that, just a little disclaimer here for those that don't get it. I'm not saying that just because you're using my system, you're going to make the same amount that I am. This is no guarantee of anything, of any income, any results whatsoever. I'm not allowed to make such claims. Obviously, it's dependent on what you put into it, but I will give you the same exact system that I'm using. I will give you the ads that I'm using. And again, you can go stealth. I'm doing the ads on Facebook. I'll show you the results that I'm getting, and the text and the copy and the same marketing funnel, the same process. So you can put two and two together and realize that while there's no guarantee of anything, and while I show you these illustrations of what I'm earning, it is no guarantee what you'll earn, obviously. There's a lot of variables and things can change in the market all the time, and nobody who is feeling anxiety about the turbulence in the cryptocurrency industry or with lending programs should be involved anyway in anything in this industry at all, or any developing industry with high return potential for that matter. But those that understand what's going on and that are willing to invest what they're willing to lose, or put, if you're in riding the poverty line, at least put in your entertainment money for the next 3 months, half of it, still have half the fun, and then go ahead and leverage what you can lose. Or if you're a BitConnect leader, which is who I'm really talking to today, and you understand of what's going on, and you want to be able to really 10x what you're earning and get these kinds of commission returns and maybe go stealth on it, you can do that with my system. It's a really simple system. I like to do things simple that work. I built, this is a snapshot of the lead capture page that you would get to use. I'm going to change the text up here a little bit. But when people opt in, and there's a video on the page, I'll show you the actual live page in a second. When people opt in, they get my auto emails. I educate them about what's going on, and it works. I get signups like clockwork, and so do the people on my team who use it. I'm going to talk in a minute about risks and regulators. A lot of you that are in BitConnect, Texas, and I think another state has recently had a cease and desist order, and BitConnect's handling it very well. Obviously, this creates some, concern in the industry. I think it's still very, very strong, and I'm going to talk a little bit about in a minute about how I feel Coin is positioned in a stronger position, particularly because it's only 2 months old, but also because of the way that they're marketing, and because they're not so much in the spotlight. I think it's the better place for a BitConnect leader to at least park part of their portfolio and start plugging into a system like this, just because of the nature of where the industry is at. I feel like we still got a lot of legs left, and I think there's still a lot to be worked out with regulation and all that stuff. In any developing industry, you have these issues. I do want to come back to that, though, in a minute, and talk about how Coin really gives me a lot of confidence. If the worst case scenario were to happen, why I feel that we're in a good position with Coin. Let me come back, though, for a second to the site and just show you some things to show you just how powerful this can be. If you look down at this chart, it's basically just showing the same thing. Level 1, 430 people, and it's showing, how much has been lent and what my commissions have been. And again, it all adds up to, if you go to the affiliate section, this 1,463,000. And I actually going to earn higher once you get over 1 million. You get a little bit higher percentage that I mentioned on those other levels. And then, of course, my total commission is almost 60,000. But let me show you my lending, just so you know that I do large lends. I started, and also to show you when I started. Here's the first lend that I did. You can't get paid commissions until you lend $100, so you can know that this was my start date. I couldn't earn any commissions. All those commissions, that almost 60,000 now, I couldn't have earned that until I did this lend of $100. So you know that I started on January 8th. Today is January 15th, so it was 1 week ago. And you can watch my other videos to understand how Coin works. It's basically very similar to BitConnect with some upgrades and improvements, which is why it's growing so quickly. And by the way, their market cap on their coin, even though they're so young, you won't find that listed everywhere. We know what their market cap is because they did a launch with their coin, and so we can see how many they released, and we can look at the price per coin. And again, you can research all that on your own, but it's way over $1 billion with a B, $1 billion market cap in just 2 months from their launch date. So we know that they know what they're doing. We know that they're well capitalized. Anyway, I just wanted to, and I just want you to understand they're really modeling the BitConnect model, but doing it, I think, in a much more improved way. And you can research that. But again, my point is different. I'm saying this is a solid company. It's early. There's room for massive growth, and you can plug into a system that I've created to get what is clearly very effective for me. And while there's no promise or guarantee that you're going to get the same results I do, obviously you're using the same system, you're using the same ads and everything, so you can put two and two together and decide for yourself if that's a good opportunity. I think it's exceptional. That's ultimately your choice to make. But you can see that I started on January 8th, and you can see today is January 15th. You can see that I did a larger lend because I was just getting started, and I started referring people on the 8th, and then I realized, oh no, I have to make a $100 lend or I'm going to lose out on commissions. And I actually did lose out on a lot of commissions because I did that late. I lost like $18,000, so I actually would have made a lot more. Then I did what I really intended to do, was a $161,000 lend on January 9th. And again, you can watch other videos to understand the higher percentages you get. Like it is superior to BitConnect in terms of its returns and its options and the auto reinvest and all kinds of things. And you may or may not want to use all those features, but they're there. And it does show that they're able to implement some incredible things. I also want to talk about in a second how they're on listed on a lot of exchanges, and how they did that so quickly tells you they really know what they're doing. Not to mention that they've already got over $1 billion with a B. I think it's $1.5 billion at the time that I'm recording this. It may correct a little bit, but absolutely insanely successful in comparison to any other lending program, even BitConnect, in terms of the speed at which it's grown. Now, we may say, well, BitConnect helped educate the marketplace, and that's certainly true. But since then, nobody has come out. Even USI that did well, nobody's come out and done what Davercoin did in terms of launching their coin, getting past $1 billion that they raised in terms of market cap, hitting their goal just immediately in terms of what they wanted to release initially, and then seeing the coin go. Now it's at over $165 now, just in about 2 months. Anyway, and I did another lend using the commissions and the return that I was getting, another lend on the 13th. For 27,000. I'm getting these returns now, and you can see the total that I earn from a total of 188,000 in a week is 16,000 in returns from the return on capital, not commissions. 16,881. That's great, but again, I want to bring your attention to what commissions has earned me. So instead of 18,000 like I got from returns on a $180-some thousand lend, I've got almost $60,000 in commissions within that same week. Commissions can definitely up your game if you know how to do it. So again, I'm encouraging you to seriously consider plugging into my system. Keep it simple. Just use what I use and watch your commissions start rolling in. Let's look at Davercoin a little bit more. They're already trading on an external exchange, which is pretty remarkable. When you compare them to any other lending program that's launched recently, I don't see anyone else accomplishing anything even close to what they have, which again tells us a lot about security and being able to trust the credibility behind their ability to be able to continue as a lending platform long term. In comparison to our other options out there, it's extraordinary what they've been able to accomplish. And I'll talk a little bit more about that security and minimizing risk and maximizing gains, and how I made a choice of going with Davercoin as I did, and why I recommend that you should be putting a part of your portfolio in it if you're a BitConnect leader or in the industry at all. But anyway, they're on Coin Exchange, which is an external market exchange. You can search DAV. You can trade your DAV there, which gives you just that much more security, because if there's an issue with the site or whatever and you want to unload your DAV or you want to buy DAV, you have this other external option to do that. It's a really, really big deal, as you know. I'm going to come back to this in a second. My YouTube account, to show you something I think that would be important for you to consider before moving forward with me. But let's look at these other platforms that they're listed on. These they're listed on. You got Coin Market Cap. You've got what's this one here? A World Coin Index. A lot of credibility comes when you get listed on these exchanges. And by the way, let's look at it. Let's look at their chart real quick. This is after it went public. After it launched, the pre-sale, this thing was selling for under $1. I know we all get bummed when we think about that and wish we could have made 10x on our returns and what have you when you see those kinds of things. But the point is, you got to take advantage of opportunities when you see them. If most of us would have seen this at that early stage, we wouldn't have felt safe investing in it, just as we don't with lots of these lending programs when they're first starting out. But now they've proven themselves. They did the launch successfully and very quickly. They now have grown since December 20th to now, from in the teens here towards the end of December to now 167. They're listed on exchanges like World Coin Index, which obviously makes a huge difference. And they are on the external exchange that I mentioned, a coin exchange where you can actually buy and sell. Let's see another one. They're on all kinds of them. You can go to Google and search it. This other one is CoinGecko. So my point in this one is in a Coin Codex. My point is they've really accomplished a lot in a really short period of time. I'm going to come back to my point about regulation and a little bit of security here with Devore. Because of that coin being at a 1 billion plus market cap and growing. And again, they're so young, you're not going to find the market cap listed on a lot of the exchanges because they're so early. But if you go do a little research, you can easily see for yourself what they launched during the pre-launch, how many they released, and what the price is, and see that it's way over $1 billion. It's incredible in that shorter period of time. They clearly know what they're doing. But I talked about Texas and other regulators that are issuing cease and desist orders for BitConnect. They did it for USI. USI, I think, overreacted, pulled out of Canada and the United States, and there's still a lot to be figured out what's going to happen there. That's a company that I was with prior. When I see something like that happen, like it just acknowledges, yes, there's risk here, but it doesn't stop me from rolling with the cryptocurrency market. And while these lending programs can be extremely risky, and I wouldn't touch most of them with a 10-foot pole, Davercoin, because of the launch they did with their coin, and because of some other things like what they've been rolling out with, getting on the exchanges, they clearly, and their site runs beautifully in terms of technically and so forth. Because of all that, I feel secure and safe with them, knowing there's still risk, of course. But if the worst case scenario were to happen, and Davercoin were to, have an issue in the United States, I feel secure knowing that they have access to hundreds of millions of dollars with their coin. As the demand grows, that becomes more and more secure, and it's growing every day. You can take a look at it and see how secure it is, and see that they're modeling the BitConnect business model and doing extraordinarily well with it in a very short period of time, which means we're wide open for growth if you want to plug into using my system and so forth. But if the worst case scenario were to happen, I feel very secure that they already launched their coin, unlike USI did, right? They're still trying to launch it, not very well funded because of it. These guys, Devorecoin, is extremely well funded because of that. So if the worst case scenario were to happen and they were going to continue to just build outside the US and Canada, where they're a lot more, it's a lot more free, oddly enough, in the market. If that were to happen, these guys have the backing financially to make sure that everybody gets paid that is in the US and Canada. And that's worst case scenario, but that's why I feel very, very safe and secure with them. Okay, so let's just keep this simple and wrap that up. I think it's pretty obvious. If you're in BitConnect, you understand the risks, you understand the rewards and the potential. I've said everything that I need to say about, what your expectations should or should not be. All I can tell you is, and I've shown you, I have repeatedly in my life done extremely well with marketing and with educational type platforms. I'm doing extraordinarily well with this. And I know that anybody who uses my system is going to do extraordinarily well in comparison to not having it, no matter what business or company or lending platform you're using. So if you want to 10x your results, get a lot of commissions coming in, use the same system I am, knowing there's no guarantee of any kind of particular result, but knowing you can see I've done extraordinarily well, my team has done extraordinarily well, and just being able to put 2 and 2 together yourself and realize if you can use the same system I am that's bringing me these results and the same processes, same ads, the same everything, and even do it on stealth if you want to, you have that option. Here's what I suggest you do. Register at Devorecoin at the link under this video if you want to move forward. Just like BitConnect, it's free to register. You can go in there and poke around and be as impressed as I was with their platform. Then you can join our group. You'll see another link to join our Facebook group where we have all kinds of training and step-by-step stuff that you can plug into. Then you're going to want to secure $1,001 lend and join our VIP group. It's another group that I have where I set you up with the ads and I build your marketing funnel. Follow those steps and I'll see you inside. Help you 10x the amount that you're earning from this incredible opportunity in the cryptocurrency market.